it is important to note that governments did make significant progress at INC 5.2 on critical areas like product design, which of course is an important element to addressing the broader issue of plastic pollution. But as you mentioned, the sticking points did remain. Financing continues to be a challenging topic, not surprising, because financing often is a difficult discussion in any multilateral environmental agreement negotiation. Also challenging were views on scope. Governments continue to struggle with the scope of the agreement. Should it just focus on addressing plastic pollution, or should it look at the full life cycle of plastics, including production and chemicals used in plastics? Also, plastic products, whether or not the agreement should include lists or whether it should simply provide guidance and criteria to governments to support national actions to address the leakage of plastic waste and plastic pollution into the environment.
Stuart, as industry is not at the negotiating table but participates as an observer, how effective do you feel your role has been in shaping the discussion as an industry? And what input are you prioritizing, or did you prioritize in Geneva?
So as an observer to the process, we play a very important role. Our view and our role is to be there in the meeting. We aren't allowed to participate in all of the negotiating sessions. Some are closed to governments only. But where we are able to participate, and certainly in the side meetings that we have with governments, we're able to listen and hear what governments are saying and what their concerns are. And then that enables us as an industry to be more effective as a solutions provider as we bring ideas to the table. One of those key solutions or one of those ideas that we brought to the table is the creation of a database of chemical additives used in plastics. So that's something that we heard early in the negotiations, all the way back at INC 2, calls from governments not really understanding how chemical additives are used in plastics, or even generally the life cycle of how, or the supply chain of how plastics move from the creation of resin or the material itself to products, to how those products are used. And so we do play a critically important role in supporting governments and providing that information on how supply chains work, how the industry works, but then, of course, bringing solutions to the table to help governments as they work to craft this global agreement.